Yeah.
Hey guys, so welcome back to the channel. I know the location is a little bit different today, but right now we're out and about. We're vacationing in Long Island, of course, with me, my very best friend, Zachary Burdick. Today we want to talk about this movie. We didn't just see it today. We saw it last weekend, but I figured what better time to come on here and talk about Wicked Little Letters, directed by Thea Sharrock, starring Olivia Colman, Jessie Buckley, Ajana Vasan, Joanna Scanlon, Gemma Jones, Malachi Kirby, Alia Defapi, Eileen Atkins, and Timothy Spall. And this takes place in 1920s England in Littlehampton, which is a small town where everyone knows everybody's business, and these very vile and crude letters are being sent to Olivia Colman's character, and of course Jessie Buckley, who plays the foul-mouthed, loose cannon of a neighbor, gets accused of writing these letters, and chaos ensues. Who wrote the letters, who didn't? And this is a film I didn't really have much anticipation for, though I did see a trailer for it when we were at seeing 100 Beavers. And I was like, this looks really funny. This looks like something that'd be right up my alley. And so had some time to kill before Monkey Man, and we're like, hey, why not see it? And first off, I have to say, my thoughts on this film, I kind of loved it. I liked it even more than Monkey Man, which I know we don't entirely agree on, but not quite. But yet again, what I absolutely loved about this movie, it isn't, like the laugh out loud film that the trailer would expect you to believe, but it is an insanely witty, insanely sharp, and just a very layered mystery that's also, very rich with drama between these characters. And I think the character dynamics are just so well fleshed out in this. And I think the performers themselves just give so much dimension to these characters. But I suppose that we'll get into that a little bit. What did you think of the movie, Zach?
I liked it overall, but I'm definitely not as big as you are on it. Yeah.
Well, I suppose most people are, but I know, people have been enjoying this movie, and I guess it's like one of those things where I'm like, I don't fully understand, how people don't see the greatness in the script, because I think you can agree at least, like, this script is insanely tight, just from a structural standpoint. I absolutely love how everything is set up and pay off, and how they build these characters, whether, some could be more fully elaborated on or not. I do appreciate the effort that went into crafting the screenplay from Jonny Sweet. I don't know what else he's written, but I really think that this screenplay is one of the best of the year so far, and one I'm definitely going to be talking about for a while.
And they say it's based on a true event.
Yeah.
So
and I'm like,
I didn't know.
And I didn't even, I'm like, this really, like, this is based on true event. It's a crazy story to believe for sure. But yet again, I think some of the juiciest drama comes out of the most, I guess, bizarre of situations. And talk about, bringing these situations to life. The cast in this movie, of course, Jessie Buckley, front and center of this, is absolutely amazing. I mean, this shouldn't be a surprise. Everything she's in, everything I've seen her in, she's incredible. And this, yet again, another boisterous turn, very confident. I think one of the best performances I have seen from her, personally. But I think Olivia Colman in this is the best performance I've seen so far this year, to be honest. And I just think it's what these actors bring to these characters that I think really makes them shine and really leap off the page onto the screen, because they portray them with such a great amount of depth and, a lot of nuance, especially Olivia Colman's character, because I kind of love trying to figure out, like, what she's all about, because you can see she really loves the attention that she's getting, but at the same time, she's a very, let's just say, she's a very suppressed character, and just trying to, like, navigate the nuances of that performance. But yet again, once you get to certain scenes in this movie, she just absolutely demands your attention with such a commanding presence on screen. I think it's just such an impressive performance. I really think she should be nominated for an Oscar. I think she's better than the movie she won the Oscar for, which most people won't say. But I really feel that strongly about Olivia Colman in this movie, and I especially love the dynamic between the two of them in this film, because if that didn't work, then I think the movie kind of falls flat.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed their dynamic with each other, and I also thought I won't get into spoilers or anything.
Right.
But I thought the dynamic between her and her father was pretty interesting.
Yes.
As well.
Timothy Spall, have to mention him as well. I think one of the best supporting turns of the entire year. I really do think this is the best ensemble of the year. Would you agree with that? From an acting standpoint?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yet again. This is why you gotta see this movie. Nobody's talking about it to this level, but I really do feel like this cast is so stacked. And Timothy Spall is just—he plays such a slimy, sort of despicable type of character. Without getting into it,
very unlikable.
He's very unlikable. But yet, the thing that's so great about this movie is I feel like, in some way, despite what a lot of these characters do, it still makes you feel a shred of sympathy for at least all of them in some way.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like the most impressive part. And another absolute standout for me was Ajana Vasan, who plays the woman police officer that she keeps telling everyone, and they're like, we know you're a woman, you don't have to keep saying it. She's just trying to crack this whole case because she believes that Jessie Buckley's character has been wrongly accused. And I absolutely love what she brings to the role in this film. Yet again, the levels of emotion that she brings to it by the end of her arc was something that I wasn't quite expecting in that way, and I think she really delivered.
Yeah. I think I have this problem through the whole entire movie, but I just wish that, and that's probably why I like it maybe a little less than you do, but I just think that some of the big character moments, character drama, I wish they dove into it a little bit more deeply, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think for me, like, I do agree that there's some points of conflict that are kind of like wrapped up to get the story going.
Yeah.
But I feel in some way the story doesn't necessarily feel like it is just moving along to move along, even though... Am I sounding like a contradiction right now? I don't know. I'm just saying I think it feels right for the story in some instances, but I do think it does... It is a small issue I have with it. And there's some other stuff, too, where I feel like at some point, even though I said it does make you feel a lot of sympathy for certain characters, sometimes I wonder if it's completely warranted or not.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that the movie's able to even pull this out of what is written, and that you're able to even feel any sense of sympathy for after some of these actions take place, I really do feel like that's a compliment on the writing in this film.
Yeah. And another thing, I guess it's not bad or anything, but I just didn't like the humor as much, like, as the film kept going.
So you're saying it started out strong and then it petered out?
I feel like it just kind of got a little bit old after a while.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I could see that, but yet again, like, as I said, I wasn't laughing out loud the whole time.
Yeah.
But I still feel like there was such a wit to it and such a cadence in which it was delivered that it didn't really bother me. And
maybe the trailers made it seem like it was going to be more of like a comedy than it actually was in reality.
I still feel like it is a comedy, though.
Yeah, it still is.
Yeah, it's pretty weighted between the comedy and drama, and I think that's another reason why I love it, because yet again, it does take these characters to very unexpected places that I really was not entirely prepared for, but I'm glad they went there in a lot of ways. And yet again, it's just a compliment to the screencraft in this film. And the dialogue here is deliciously vulgar.
Yes.
Some of the you know what? I think this is something that I must bring up, but I feel like it's very reminiscent of Martin McDonagh. And which even goes down to the cinematography, which is done by Ben Davis, who shot 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and the Banshees of Inisherin. So you do have that linkage there, but it is very biting. It is very much in that vein. And there's even a shot where I was like, okay, that was stolen from a Martin McDonagh film, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So a few problems that I had with the movie, I guess it just took a little while to get into, and I know, like, with, movies, the more immediately you're invested, of course, the more you're going to enjoy it. What do you think about that for this film?
Yeah, it took a little while just for all this different things to develop, and like all the different characters' backgrounds and everything, that started to become interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you to some extent, but I also feel like that setup was definitely necessary, and I think there's an interesting approach that we've seen used in other movies. I won't say what it is because then that might give away part of the fun of finding out, this whodunit. But yet again, you could definitely take that off. I also thought the score by Isabel Waller-Bridge was kind of generic,
Not too memorable.
Not insanely memorable. We've heard, stuff like this before, which I suppose is fine, but, definitely have heard better. And I also thought, and this might play better once I have, like, subtitles, I thought, with the strong English accents, it was hard to understand.
Strong English, Irish accent.
Right. So it was, like, hard to understand what they were saying with points, but I'm sure that will kind of be alleviated, with, when you watch it with subtitles. But regardless, yet again, I think this cast is so stellar all across the board. A bunch of people we didn't even mention, too, by name, just really help flesh out this, small town and where everyone's up in their own business, and really just made this story feel so much more lively. I also have to mention Paul Shahidi as the lead constable. I thought there's one scene that he has with Ajana Vasan, which was just absolutely incredible. Some of the best acting in the movie, and I think he really stands out in some way. Though I feel, in some regards, some of the characters are a bit two-dimensional. I'm sure you'd probably agree with me on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Overall, yeah, I love this movie. Yet again, I think this is one that everyone should seek out more than anything. It really is one of the hidden gems from 2024 so far, and I'm going to give this film an 8.5. I loved it. This score could even go up in the future, just based on how much I remember myself enjoying it by the end, and where the story led. All the twists and turns, whether they're predictable or not. I really appreciated the writing being so consistent in this film. And yeah, so what are your thoughts on it?
I'd probably go with 7 out of 10
Yeah.
for a rating on this. I still enjoyed it quite a bit, but I don't think it's gonna be like one of my favorites from this year or anything like that.
Sure. No, I guess you were coming from. I definitely think it will be at least an honorable mention. But yet again, this year is on fire, and this is another movie for me that really solidifies that in my mind. And I cannot wait to see what this filmmaker does next, what this writer does next, and of course this cast. Justice for Olivia Colman. We got to get her that Oscar nomination. Probably won't happen, but it would be nice to see. Anyway, that's our review for Wicked Little Letters. What did you think? Down in the comments below, let us know, and of course smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more movie reviews like this. And of course, Zach, thank you for joining me on this review. It's always a pleasure to see movies with you, but when you can come on the channel, it's even greater privilege the few times that you have been on.
Yes, and I'm glad you could have me on here.
Absolutely, man. Well, hey, that's all we have for this review today. Stay tuned for a few coming up very soon. Of course, Alex Garland's Civil War. Yes, very, very excited to talk to you guys about that one. And until next time, we'll see you later. Take it easy now.